Okay, this is the second video in our number system section, and we're going to look at the set of what's called integers. You know, the natural numbers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could put them on a number line, just keep going forever if we put an arrow on the end like that. If we add 0, we'd have the whole numbers. We'd actually have to put little dots of them because we don't want everything in between to make natural and to make whole numbers. We'd put little dots on it because they're little, because that's all they are, is the counting numbers, is the natural numbers, plus 0 is the whole numbers. But the integers, well, what you do with integers is they include negative numbers. So instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into infinity, it's -1, -2, -3, -4. So this number line, those lines right there represent the negative integers. There's 0, there's the positive integers. All together, you're looking at the set of integers that goes on forever in both directions. Now, I want to do a bit of revision, and people, they use their calculator, they do it quickly, and they don't quite understand it, and it causes huge problems later on in math for them. So I want to just use these small numbers here to try and revise something and make sure you can get and understand it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show if I went 5 minus 7, we're going to do some operations on the number line. Well, 5 would be right here. And the thing is, you have to know that when you subtract, you go to the left on the number line. And when you add, you go to the right. Well, we're subtracting, so we should go to the left, 5 minus 7. So we'd go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's exactly what this would be. 5 all the way down 7. I didn't go far enough, did I? Then I went down 5. I got to go down 1 more. It's going to be at -2. 5 minus 7. 5 minus 7 is equal to -2. It's not cooperating with me. Okay, there we go. Now, there it is, illustrating it on a number line exactly what's going on. But the main idea is when you subtract, think of what the number you're starting with and go in the right direction. Go to the left. When you add a negative, you do exactly the same thing. Well, this time, we're going to start at -1. So there we are at -1. But if we add -3, there's -1. If we add -3, we're going to go to the left, 3, -3. And what's that going to take you to? -4, see? So when you add a negative or subtract, you go to the left. That's the big idea, and that's what you've got to be able to figure out. But what if we are adding? Well, that means we're getting bigger because we're going to the right. The further you are to the right, the bigger it is. The further you are to the left on the number line, the smaller it is. Well, let's try. Here we go. We're at -4. Now we're going to add 7. We're going to add 7. So what we do is we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's exactly where we are at 3. If we subtract 4 and add 7, we get +3. That's why it's true. And that's your answer. But if you subtract a negative, you go in the same direction. So what would happen if you started at -2 and then you subtracted -2? Well, that's the same as just adding 2. And that means you would just go to 0, just to 0. -1 plus -2 minus -2 is -2 plus 2. 2 to the right. You see, you go 2 to the right. And that just equals 0. By the way, this -2, which is +2, those two numbers, -2 and +2, are called additive inverses. When you put them together, they always make 0. If you have two numbers, when you add, they make 0. They're called additive inverses. Well, that was just a little bit of revision for everybody. but you really need to understand how to add and subtract integers. And I hope this video helped. Okay.